Procrastination was always an uphill battle for me. I would try my hardest. It'd be like swimming upstream for me. I would try as hard as I can, put in my full energy, full attention into it, and yet it would feel like I didn't go anywhere. Like you're swimming upstream, you're trying hard, and you look over to the side and you're in the same position as you were like a month ago, a year ago. And it sucked. It genuinely, it hurt my, it hurt my ego, not only my ego, but it felt like I was not doing anything, even though, I knew that I was trying so hard, but it felt like I wasn't doing anything. And it's because procrastination was an uphill battle for me. It was like I had to fight it. But once I changed my self image, it felt like instead of being I'm swimming upstream, it felt like the stream was pushing me forward. Once I changed how I saw myself, it allowed me to, instead of fighting against myself, it allowed me to fight with myself in a sense. And it's because in my brain, I always saw myself, secretly deep down, I saw myself as a person who would procrastinate. And you might be struggling with this too, where, genuinely, procrastination feels so easy because you see yourself as the person who would procrastinate. You might not consciously realize it, but deep down, you might genuinely think of yourself as someone who only procrastinates. Like, working hard is just not who you are. And that sucks. Genuinely, it's horrible because no matter how hard you try, your brain is gonna snap back to the point where it thinks you are. Like if you think of yourself as the procrastinator, you can work as hard as you want, but you're always gonna go back to what you think of yourself. It's like the fat person who always saw himself as the fat person, and then he tries to go to the gym and try to lose weight. He doesn't lose anything because it's like his brain automatically goes back to the point where he was. Like he works out for a week and then he eats like a big cake all by himself. Like genuinely, that's what it feels like, but with procrastination. And once I actually changed my self image, it felt like I was snapping forward into discipline. Discipline is the opposite of procrastination, right? It felt like procrastination, instead of pulling me back into its clutches, it was pushing me forward. It was using all its might to get me to discipline. And the way I changed my self image was, well, it was a lot of things actually, but the first thing, and you might not want to hear this, is to actually just work on being not procrastinating, on being disciplined. No one wants to hear this answer, but to change how you see yourself, you actually just have to put in the work. That's probably the number one way. Like, the more you work and the more effort you put into actually getting to the point where you're not procrastinating, the less you'll see yourself as a procrastinator. But you probably didn't want to click this video just to hear that. Like, to not procrastinate, you just have to not procrastinate. Like, duh. And another way, that's just the number one way. But imagine yourself as the person who doesn't procrastinate. Imagine yourself as the disciplined guy who wakes up, no excuses, you just do what you gotta do. The more you imagine yourself that, literally, close your eyes right now and imagine yourself as that person. It could literally mean whatever you want for you. It could mean that instead of waking up at 11, you wake up at 10 or 9 a.m. or something. It genuinely fits for every single person. How would you see yourself if you were disciplined? And just imagine it. You can open your eyes now. Imagine yourself, that's just, that one imagination is like a rehearsal for your new self, because you want to change your new self. And so imagining yourself as someone else is like an actor putting on a new role. But the more you put on that new role, the more you imagine yourself as that person, the more that acting role actually becomes you. It's really weird, but just imagination, visualizations, they all sound weird, manifest whatever you want. None of that is real. But actually just imagining yourself as the person who it doesn't procrastinate is such a big step forward. And obviously, again, the best way to not procrastinate in your head is to just not procrastinate in real life. And I hate saying it, but truly, If you just keep working on it, eventually, like that upstream like feeling where you keep getting pushed back will slowly soften and soften until the point where you don't feel anything. It's just neutral, and then eventually it will start pushing you forward. It's just a magical feeling, man. I remembered like a few weeks ago, I woke up an hour before my alarm. I set an alarm for 7 a.m. just so that I'm up by 7. And I woke up at like 6:10 or something. And I really wanted to go back into bed. You know, it was gonna be nice. You know, even if I didn't fall asleep, I would just lay in there. It'd be nice and toasty. And I like laid down in bed, and the first thought I had was, "Get up, pussy." I'm not joking. The first thought I had was, "Get up, or you're a pussy." And like, imagine that level where instead of like, I literally wanted to procrastinate, and yet my brain was almost forbidding me from doing it. Like, that's genuinely the point where you can reach when you work hard enough. Your brain doesn't allow you to procrastinate. Like, I genuinely want this for you. If you're interested in more help, I offer coaching in the description. I hope it helps you.